Hi, everybody. Welcome to this very special full moon call, coming as it is in the middle of Saturn going direct and Pluto going direct. This could have been a really wonderful week or a really wishy-washy week. You could be feeling completely energized. You could be feeling completely drained. You could be feeling absolutely fearful and overwhelmed. You could be feeling on top of the world, lighter, whiter, brighter. It depends on how you've spent the last 6 months and how you've adapted to the times that are changing in our world. In the middle of all of this, Mars is retrograde, Uranus is retrograde, Neptune is retrograde in the next couple of weeks. Mercury is going to go retrograde. So it's still a time of some amount of upheaval, feeling unsettled, feeling like you don't have a fix on things, like you don't know what to hold on to, you don't know what to do to feel a little stabler. There's uncertainty going around because it is tumultuous and because Pluto rules transformation, and we saw what happened when he went into his retrograde. The whole world turned topsy-turvy. So many things that we had taken for granted, we had to let go of. So many ways of living had to be drastically changed. And now, as he goes direct, we will be also having our choice in how we want to move ahead, which is why today's full moon call is going to use a lot of Mars decrees, because Mars is all about taking action. And taking action means being decisive. But before you take action, before you are decisive, you have to get in touch with choice. What kind of choices you're going to make. And having said that, let us make sure that we are at our best to receive everything by centering ourselves, grounding ourselves, becoming at home in our bodies by focusing on the inhale and the exhale of our breath for 5 minutes. Keep your feet uncrossed, your palms facing upward, close your eyes, spine straight, no slouching, and begin. still concentrating on your breath, I want you to take your attention to your chest, your lungs. Start becoming aware of how the chest is rising and falling. Breathe into the chest, breathe out of the chest. Take your attention to your shoulder joints. Breathe into your shoulder joints, breathe out of your shoulder joints. Breathe in through your wrists, breathe out through your wrists. As you inhale, you will sense the wrist breathing. As you exhale, you will sense the wrist releasing. Start breathing through the joints of your legs to your torso. Breathing through your pelvic girdle. Now begin to inhale and exhale with your knees. If your body is fallen forward, please bring it back, spine erect. Begin breathing through your inner ankles, inhaling through the inner ankle, exhaling through the inner ankle. Start inhaling and exhaling through the outer ankle. Inhale and exhale through the soles of your feet. Inhaling, you'll feel something come up from the ground into your feet. Exhaling, you'll feel something release from your feet into the ground. Quickly start becoming aware of all the places that you have been breathing from. Soles, ankles, knees, hip joints, chest, shoulder joints, wrists. And finally, become aware of your neck. Breathe in from the back of your neck. Breathe out from the front of your neck. Breathe in from the back. Breathe out from the front. Keeping your attention on your neck, start breathing in from your upper back spine and exhaling from the front chest. You are now breathing from the base of your skull till your upper back. You're inhaling through the spine and you're exhaling from the front of the body. Take your awareness to your middle back. Breathe in, exhale from the front. By now, your breath would be entering like a rectangular block into your spine and releasing like a rectangular block from the front of your body. It is all in a straight line. Bring your attention to your lower back. Breathe in, exhale from the lower abdomen. Breathing in from the bottom of your spine till the base of your skull and exhaling from the front central column of your body. Inhaling from the front central column of your body and exhaling through your entire spine. Inhaling from the front, exhaling from the back. Make a note for yourself. Was it easier to inhale from the back and release from the front? Or was it easier to inhale from the front and release from the back? One more time, please. Inhale through your central column. Your central column is your chakra column. Inhaling through the chakra column and exhaling through your spinal column. Bring all your attention back to your breath, focusing on the triangle of the tip of the nostril and the sides of the nostril. Start becoming aware of which nostril is breathing. Left, right, both. It is only about the awareness. We are not controlling the breath. Open your mouth very slightly, relaxing your jaw. And in very gentle, soft inhales and exhales, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Make a note for yourself that as you do this particular breath, your shoulders relax, your rib cage relaxes, your spine relaxes. Using your muscles, make sure that your spine is erect and continue with the soft inhale through the nose and soft exhale through the mouth. If you are holding your spine correct using your muscles, you will also sense a tautness in the muscles coming through, like they are a little firmer. Continue this for one more minute. Superb, superb, beautiful flows. Turn your palms upside down so that your palm is now on your thigh and start rubbing your thigh up and down. Your attention is on the touch between palm and thigh. Let a little bit of warmth build up. Take your hands, cross them over, hold the upper arms and start rubbing them also up and down. Finally, with the warmth increased in your palms, please place your palms on the sides of on the either sides of your face, and just, like sometimes we do this when we are soaping our face, just rub slightly vigorously. Take your palms to the back of your neck, rub a little bit, and just below the center of your collarbones, thymus points, I want you to gently thump it. You're going to ball up your hands in a fist with the thumb inside, and gently with the bent knuckle hands, you are going to thump the sides of your upper chest. Check if there is any sensation of pain or tenderness or ache. What we are doing right now is also honoring Mercury retrograde coming up, because Mercury handles the lungs, and we want to make sure that not only are we breathing correct, but that our thymus is also fully active. Bring your palms down. You are now ready to awaken, but before you open your eyes, let me tell you what it is that you're going to do. The object that I wanted you all to have, that you could hold comfortably in your palms, you're going to open your eyes, have a sip of water, take that object into your palms. Whether it's a ring, whether it's a crystal, whether it's a pen, whether it's a bowl, whether it's a coaster, whatever it is that fits into your palm, I want you to take it after you've had a sip of water. And now that your eyes are open, without peering at it, I want you to keep your eyelids very soft, and I want you to gaze at this particular object. You're going to gaze at this particular object while turning it around. So you want to see it from the front, you want to see it from the back, like just turning the object around in your hand. You want to get comfortable with the texture, nature, design, color of this particular object. Maybe it's an object that's already very familiar to you. Maybe it's not. But I want you to see it carefully. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. You see, the full moon time is also a fabulous time for working on our 4 sacred gifts. 8 actually, but we work on 4. And the 4 sacred gifts of clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, as well as clairaudience. Since today's call is not wholly devoted to that, we're just going to spend at least a few minutes developing this clair. Your minute is up. Please put the object down, close your eyes, and start seeing the object in your mind's eye. You may see yourself holding this object, or you may start sensing the object. You may see the colors very clearly as you were turning it around. Maybe you can see the front of the object more clearly than the side or the back. It's okay. Focus for the next 1 minute on recreating this in the TV screen of your third eye. There is no right or wrong to this. Some of us are very visual, so we will immediately start feeling the texture, sensing the material, seeing the colors, like seeing it very clearly. Some of us are more kinesthetic, so we may only have a sense of it without a clear picture. It's fine. The point is to focus on this particular object the best way you can. Gently open your eyes, take the object in your palms again. This time, you're going to look at the object from top, an aerial view, bird's eye view. So you're going to look at it from the top, and then you're going to look at it from the bottom. See it carefully, but keeping your eyes gentle. So no forced focusing. Put the object down, close your eyes, see if you can now pick up on the aerial view as well as the view from the bottom. Try this for 1 minute. Recreate it in whatever way you can recreate it, whether it's a sensual recreation or whether it's a visual recreation. Just try and find it in the middle of your third eye. Superbly done. Superbly done. I can see that everybody's third eye is not straining. For some of y'all, some slight strain is there, but for the most part, you are being able to sense it or visualize it. Now, you're going to open your eyes, have a sip of water, take the object back in your hands, and this time you are going to smell it from the front, from the back. Like as you're turning it, you're going to smell it. Maybe it has a smell, maybe it does not. Maybe it has a fragrance, maybe it does not. But you're going to smell this object. Then you're going to take this object and rub it on any forearm. Forearm is the inner portion of your arm, the lower part of the arm. You're just going to rub it very slowly. And while you're doing that, you're going to make a note for yourself that you want to remember how this feels. Whether it's rough, whether it's smooth, whether it's silken, whether it's velvetish, whether it's oily, you want to remember this sense of touch. And then you're going to put the object down again, close your eyes, see if you can remember how it smells. Sometimes we don't smell it back, but we have a sense of the memory of the smell. So either way is fine. Try to smell it. And because smells are even more transient than most other senses, switch now to remembering how it felt on your forearm. Can you remember it? Can you not remember it? Some of us are not very kinesthetic. Kinesthetic people are very touch oriented. Some of us are. Switch immediately to remembering how it was when you first visualized it. Did you visualize the whole object? Did you visualize the front side or the back side? Visualize the top, visualize the bottom, and now start rotating it in your head as though there are a pair of invisible hands doing what your physical hands were doing. Again, if you can sense it more than visualize it, it's absolutely fine. Your clair gift could be clairsentience. Now, in whichever direction you were seeing this object turning, start seeing the object turn in the opposite direction, like the hands have changed their motion. Do not struggle. In your mind's eye, see yourself putting down this object, and then with your eyes closed, put your hand out and touch it. Could you do that easily? Or did your hand go somewhere else and then you had to find your way to it? How well did you connect with your object? How easy is it for you to connect to ideas, to thoughts, to emotions, to people, to memories, to situations? The way that you would have processed this entire sequence with the object would tell you something about that. Open your eyes gently, have lots and lots of water because you have used many intelligences right now. And hardly any from your left brain, which is the energy flow that I want you to be in. Once you've settled down, tell me a little bit about your relationship with God. The topic of God, the relationship with God, the relationship with God, stroke higher power, stroke higher intelligence, stroke universe, stroke source, stroke presence, however it is that you identify with, with this, we are talking about this relationship because with Mercury going retrograde, delays in plans will take place. With Pluto going direct, plans may not even come to pass. With Saturn going direct, plans may suddenly take off. Basically, the future is uncertain. And we can be picking up on that uncertainty and either feeling tired about, oh God, I don't know what more I'm going to have to do, or feeling anxious because, oh God, I don't know what changes are coming up now. When will life go back to the way it was? This is not normal for me. Whatever the reaction that you are having to this particular week, if you are a little unwell, be very, very gentle with yourself. If you have a headache after this particular exercise, please take some distance from the computer or the phone and look at something else. So don't look at the digital light. But how is it for you? How are you navigating this week? What is the full moon light shining on for you? Are you in recognition of the fact that right now there are so many choices available to you, especially choices of work? choices of money. How are you going to be working? Are you going to be working from home, from an office, from a cafe? Are you going to be working in your own time? Are you going to be working with limited hours for work and more hours for yourself? Will you get paid the same amount or more, or will you be compromising on that? What is your work, play, life, solitude, balance looking like? Mars is all about the action. And when he goes retrograde, either we can take fervent action or get even desperate for action, or we find ourselves invariably slowing down. As it is, we would have slowed down because of the Saturn retrograde. But Saturn's gone direct, and in the next 1 week to 10 days, we will find that we are feeling more energized and more active and wanting to move ahead faster. But how are you going to work? At this point, especially under the light of the full moon, we have the possibilities and the potential for complete transformation based on the choices that we can make right now. How is the rest of the month looking like for you? How's the rest of the year looking like for you? How are you doing right now? For the object work, Neha says was very easy to connect, saw it from top and felt soft, sensual. Donna's feeling anxious, and Donna, you could be picking up on the fact that because so much is in flux right now, we really don't feel like we have solid ground beneath our feet. You can leave now. And that solid ground, today we're going to find in the presence of this particular higher power, God, Bhagwan, universe, as well as in our own knowing. Because when everything comes to pass and you are at the edge of the unknown, two things can happen. Either you will land on solid ground or you will be given wings to fly. But which one is it going to be? You don't know that. Have your next sip of water, close your eyes, and I want you to see yourself in this dark place. And you know you're standing at the edge of something. But it's dark. You don't know what you're on the edge of. You cannot see where you're putting your next foot, where you are taking your next step. And I want you to put one step out. And then I want you to put the other step out and see for yourself what happens. The moment you've taken both steps forward into this unknown, into this void, into this emptiness, right in front of you, the new moon starts rising. Rising, rising, rising. Big, big, round ball of light, white, bright. And you see for yourself what has shown up for you as you took the step into the unknown. Was there ground when you stepped out, or did you suddenly start flapping your wings? Is the path ahead of you way more clearer in the light of the full moon? Is the moon shining and revealing more to you? Did you sprout wings as well as have solid ground beneath your feet? What are you wearing when the moon revealed you to you? Were you wearing that when you were at the edge? Like for Sangeet, sorry, she stepped out on solid ground and it was bright like sunlight. Beautiful. For those of y'all who stepped out on solid ground, your way forward lies in healing the relationships with your family. For those of y'all who had wings, your way forward lies in healing your relationship with God. On solid ground, we find God through our relationships in the family. With wings and flying, we find our family through the relationship with God. Devika says, solid ground beneath. Moon revealed a beautiful path ahead, wearing a nice flowing gown. Superb. Superb. You have to take a look at where your family has disrupted your faith and trust and surrender in the universe. Vinita says, I stepped out into nothingness, but was not at all scared, very comfortable. Vinita, did you have wings? Radha says, stepped out on lush green grass aside a field. Radha, that says that your relationships are improving a lot and that you will soon be headed towards a time of love and acceptance in the family. Karishma says, I'm very disappointed with God. I feel He isn't listening to me. My desires seem unfulfilled. So, golden rule number one about God, about the universe. You may not get what you want, you will always get what you need. Karishma, what is it that you are needing right now that you have gotten? Kanchan says, I saw a transparent white glass and down, beautiful river running down and green trees, and I'm wearing a red gown. Kanchan, that is most beautiful. These are also, when you start seeing white glass or white rivers, this is also when your wings are being developed. So you are healing the relationship in your family. Is that true? Swati says was wearing a lovely pink and found ground. Shailaja says solid rock steps. Yes, you can see steps. When you see steps, it means you have to take the relationship with your family one step at a time. Nishi says, I'm not sure about wings, but felt like I was floating. Wonderful, Nishi. The relationship with God will bring about a lot of changes in your relationship with family. Bina says, I stepped out on the ground, saw festivities, carnival, Ferris wheel, beautiful house. Once you mentioned, I sprouted wings and flew, laughter, joy. Fantastic. So there is some fun that is indicated in your coming future, and the coming future is a matter of days and weeks. Swati saw a lovely bright light. Bindu was gliding on soft ground and also flapping my wings. Fantastic. Dilly says, stepped out into nothing with wings. I'm not afraid at all. I feel safe. Excellent. 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 Gabrielle says, the universe always has my back, and for the first time, I am grounded enough to face and finally transmute limiting beliefs with my religion and with my family of origin. That's beautiful. Shushmita says, on solid ground when moon was out, noticed a tunnel-like way forward with bright light on the other side. Funnily, image of a fox with me conjured up, sort of like a guard. I would have actually thought of dog in a similar situation to protect. And also telling you, yes, very much, and telling you to be on your guard. So use your intelligences to make sure that you are not walking into danger. I also feel because tunnels are invariably to do with our birthing time. So I'm wondering if you have any pre-birth trauma that needs to be cleared, like if you had a mother who was very anxious or angry, or you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, in an abusive relationship, then you would have needed your spirit animal, your totem, to be with you to make sure that you were completely safe. Sunita was wearing a white gown on solid ground. Fantastic. Sunita, are you the most aware in your family? Like, are you the most sensitive? Are you the most aware? Are you the peacemaker in the family? Vinita, are you the peacemaker? So normally when we show up in white clothes, we are the peacemakers. We are the ones who bring harmony. And Meenakshi says, I was embraced by the moon herself. How beautiful. How beautiful. And I'm taking a water break, my darlings. Please join me. Nikita says, I fell on the dark space, no ground, and saw was wearing white gown with pink satin belt on waist. I didn't see I didn't see wings, she says. When you fell on the dark space, did you have a sense of falling, or did you fall on a solid dark space? Because that would also then tell us that there is darkness going on in the family. Sorry, my darlings, I'm just going to have some more water. Karishma says, I missed the call, went silent. All of a sudden, when I connected, I could see myself walking towards the rising moon, so large and pretty. I could see it move up to the sky quickly, silver and pretty. I was on the ground and I was in a beautiful forest, but could see the pathway clearly. Forests are always places of deep magic, deep protection from many other intelligences. So not necessarily an intelligence we can see, but intelligence nevertheless. Sonal says, I felt having wings flying high up as well as solid ground. Nice. Neha says, I saw rough stony ground like the moon ground. Neha, is your family like that? Are they rough? Are they stony? And stony means they are rigid, and whatever you say to them falls on deaf ears. Swati says, stepped on the ground wearing a lovely pink gown, and moonlight was lovely and bright. When we wear pink, when we wear pastel shades, then our work or our inherent purpose is to bring love around us. Donna couldn't really see stepping out, slowly saw the path, saw dawn coming, was a dirt path, flowers on side like in forest paths. And was it a path that you could walk on easily? And dirt path also tells me that your connection with nature is very strong, that you would rather be out in the wilderness than with people, and also that there could be some dirt in the family that you do have to clear for your path to be clear. Sonal says, I was wearing a black sari Moonlight, very bright, beautiful, with very happy. Black can be the color of power. It can also be the color of blindness. So take a look at what it is that you might be avoiding in your life. And Dilly says today is mid-autumn, full moon festival in Hong Kong, public holiday for families to get together for dinner, enjoy the full moonlight and eat mooncakes. I love it. You know, once upon a time, I think almost every culture would do something like this because it's a great idea to spend a few minutes under the full moon, to just bathe in the full moon. Simon says, I saw myself as a scared girl wearing a red polka dot dress, but I stepped out on lush green grass and felt secure. I know I have God's back, and God has your back. Super. Preeti says, I felt as if I'm an eagle sitting in the dark, flying high towards the moon, flying high with big wings, flying towards the sky, soaring high. Fantastic. Preeti, do you also have a sense that whatever you get, you somehow get miraculously or luckily or good fortune smiles on you? Renu says, I saw myself falling into emptiness, but when the moon came out, I was absorbed into the moonlight. Could you see yourself at all? I was wearing the fool's dress. And you know, the fool is always about holding back, biding your time, not being impulsive. So, somewhere, have you been impulsive in your life, Renu, and paid a price for it? Jeet says, I stepped out and fell. After a few seconds, received a message to just fly, and I started floating. No wings, almost like Superman just gliding through the space. Fantastic. Sangeet was wearing yellow, and yellow is always about spreading sunshine, spreading sunniness. So always being vivacious, active. Are you the life of the party usually, Sangeet? Nikita says, I fell on the dark space, no ground. Nikita, did I not read this? And then maybe coming up to the light. It was like falling into dark space and coming up, and I saw I was wearing a white gown with pink satin belt on the waist. Didn't see wings. As long as you came up to the light. But take a look at the darkness of the family. Yes, I remember saying that a little earlier as well. Sarah stepped on the ground but still saw darkness, inspired, in spite of the bright moon, in which case you got to take a look at some of the darkness in the family. The darkness could be ignorance, a family that is so stuck in their belief system that they absolutely refuse to move ahead. Darkness can also be just a darkness of being, as in more comfortable with negativities. Is that true for you? Is that true for them? Vandana, did you did you step off the edge of the mountain? Like Renu, for Renu, when she fell into the emptiness and the moon came out, she was absorbed into the moonlight. And this could also be that even though you might be impulsive in your actions, somehow at the last minute something saves you. Like it doesn't become a thing of complete wastage or complete regret. Like something happens to turn it around in your favor. Is that true? Vandana says, my feet were like talons of, of birds, eagle, and that's absolutely fine, my love. You know, all of us have animal, bird, plant, tree, unicorns, dragon ancestry. There have been many earths before this, and at various points, given also that most of us are Hindus and do believe in rebirth and reincarnation, we have taken form. And also, when I was seeing how the DNA committee was dispersing souls, giving rise to the human bodies, that there was quite a bit of mixes and matches that took place between various DNAs. It's like when you look at some people, they look like a cat, or they look like they have like a monkey face, or they look like a rat, or they look like a tree, or they look like a fairy, or you just look at some people and you can see their ancestry from other times and other timelines. Angelia says, bright moonlight, family sitting around eating moon cakes, drinking tea, enjoying the moon festival. Beautiful. I love that it is celebrated and that it is celebrated as a culture where families get together and do this. It's just fabulous. Anisha had a beautiful clear path. Good. Walked straight, gazing into the full moon, was wearing jeans and top. Excellent. Which means that you could be quite laid back and that you're chill with your family, or your biggest effort is to be chill with the family, like not take it too seriously, not take it too much to heart. Sangeet, solid ground means you have a solid family. It's very literal what we see. And how the ground looks, how the ground is, dark, light, tells you what's going on in the family. And if you walked on the solid ground and you are walking that particular path, which means that's what you got to watch out for in your family. Preeti says, stepped on ground like a forest, saw myself in white gown, moonlight changing to dawn. Beautiful. Beautiful. Is there a tendency to retreat into nature, Preeti? Do you try and avoid people? Do you try and avoid your family? Vandana says, soft, fresh green grass, and we have a few Vandanas, so most of them are, I'm going to from one Vandana to another. Vandana also stepped onto soft, fresh green grass, wearing shiny white gown, which is great, which has to do with the purification of your chakras. I saw a path ahead with beautiful flowers around. I'm bathed in the moonlight. I'm feeling happy. I'm on my own. I felt like I was happily playing around. Fantastic. And do you also have a tendency to want to escape the family? She also says, good fortune always smiles on me. Yes to that. By the grace of the universe, I am never lacking. Yes to that. What a beautiful energy you have brought to all of us. Shantini saw the gentle rolling expanse of a hillside. It means because it's gentle, it's surmountable, but hillsides, especially if they're right in front of you, like right on the path, do mean that some blocks need to be taken care of, that there is some problem that needs to be dealt with. Shantini, just see yourself going over the expanse of the hillside and coming out of the other side. You'll know what the problem is, you'll know what the solution is. Now let me ask y'all, my darlings, once you've seen this, and this, by the way, is another intelligence. It's a multi-dimensional intelligence, a multi-reality intelligence, a, a multi-universe intelligence. when you access this intelligence, you are connecting to the many ways that the universe speaks to you, that the universe communicates with you. Like right now, if you paid a little more attention to whatever was showing up for you, you have actually predicted the next few weeks of your life. And having done that, tell me, my darlings, on a scale of 0 to 10, how trusting are you that everything is going to fall into place? How trusting are you that no matter what happens, that no matter what happens with the government, with institutions, with your bosses, with your partners, with your spouses, with your friends, with your relationships, you're going to be okay? On a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you trust your knowing? And if I told you that transformation is round the corner, how would you feel? Can you embrace this transformation? Can you receive this transformation? And by the way, transformation is a drastic change. So none of us really works towards transformation because of the drasticness of it. You know, we're still comfortable saying, okay, I'm willing to change, or I'm willing to have change, or I want to see some change, or damn it, this is not changing, it must change. But transformation, which is Pluto's gift to us, transformation is 180 degrees the other way. So if I said that in the next 1 week, your life's going to transform, how would you react? And please know that this must qualify the number of trust you have given me, the SUD of trust you have given me. So I'm getting really wonderful SUDs. I've got 8, I've got 9, and then I've lost the other comments, so give me one moment. I think that means I should take my next water break, so join me. Fantastic. 100%, 10, 8, 10. Amar's at a 5. Vanita says 10 and boosted. Love it. Vandana. Bhatia says, I trust the universe totally. Karishma says, from the space of knowing, trust is at 10. Fantastic. And yes, happily embrace transformation. Swati gets anxious sometimes, but I trust as well. And so the answers are 10 and 10 and 10. Superb, my darling. Superb. Let me very quickly introduce you to Mars decrees. The power of Mars decrees is that it allows us to check our vibrational status. So there are 2 particular Mars decrees. One is I do and one is I don't. Because he is all about the action. So his decree is all about the action. So I do and I don't. And Donna, 6 is not bad, my love. Many happy returns of the day, Alex. We sung for you at the beginning of the call, but we will wish you now as well. I hope you've had a wonderful time so far and that it's just going to get better and better as the day progresses. Like for Alex says, my trusting varies greatly. Usually it's a 1, but thank you. So now it's about a 10. And Karishma says, I'm really looking forward to experiencing a happy transformation. I know it's time for the light to flow in. Now let me ask you the next question. What will you do What are you willing to do to have this transformation? Anything? Everything? What's your commitment to this transformation? Let us check. I want you to say the sentence, and it's a decree, my love, so you have to say it loud. I do choose transformation, and tell me if there is a physical reaction in the body. I do choose transformation. If you have a physical reaction and you can wait for 10 seconds to check, it means you are in the vibration of it. If there is no reaction, it means you are not in the vibration of transformation. And then to check and confirm one more time, just say, I don't choose transformation, and see if that has a physical reaction in the body. And that again will be a confirmation. With the I do and the I don't, whatever reaction takes place in the body, it means that's the vibration you have. Karishma says, felt something in my heart when I said it. No resistance. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, Karishma, no resistance to it means no disappointment with God, no distrust with God. He hasn't given you no anger with God, no anger with anybody, no fears of the future, no anxieties about loss. Rupali says felt expansiveness, but was it physical? Did your chest expand? Did your tummy suck in? Simon says my palms immediately began emitting Reiki energy. Fantastic. Kanchan has a lot of vibration. Shantini says, felt resistance when I said don't choose, but resistance is the physical reaction. Where do you get the physical reaction? So even if you're seeing it as resistance, if it's a physical reaction, it means that's the vibration you're in. For Sonal, palms tingled when she said, I do choose. There's a heaviness on the head. So detox showing up. Immediately, what is the next thing taking place in the body? Are you feeling happier, joyful, excited? Or is there heaviness on the head, heaviness in the shoulder, constriction in the chest? What has happened now? Saira started coughing. Fabulous. Rupali sat straight. Superb. Donna says, when I do choose, then solar plexus tightens. When I don't choose, then my heart thumps. Whoa. So we will go with the first one. One more time. I do choose transformation. I do choose transformation at all levels. I do choose transformation now. Karishma, if you felt it when you said the opposite and something was felt in the body, please see all the things in the body that you are trying to avoid, because this is where, when we depend a lot on the logical mind, we can completely overlook all the other vibrations that are coming from the subconscious as well as the unconscious. Sangeet says, I do choose transformation, pain in the right temple. So when I meant for reaction in the body, pain pain shouldn't be the one that's coming up. Pain means that's where you're resisting the transformation. So pain in the right temple is invariably to do with resentment, maybe resentment with men or resentment with a male. Jaswinder says, felt sensations in my solar plexus and chest area. Very nice. Tummies start getting sucked in. For Meenakshi, breath became deeper. Fantastic. Preeti is yawning. Vinita's got vibrations. Suddenly want to get up and walk. Please do, ma. Please do. Was it you I was asking about physical exercise? That there needs to be some more physical activity in your life, including volunteer work? Sonal says, tingling in my palms. Wonderful. For Swati, palms are heavy and vibrating. Vandana Bhatia is choosing transformation and feeling so happy. So the tingling again, these are places where nerves have been constricted. So something's opening up there. Try the next one. I do choose to trust myself completely. And Kanchan says, you said transformation, and I just saw 111. In fact, today's full moon has been full of angel numbers. Has that been true for you all? Makes complete sense, Karishma, that there is some fearful of what it would be like. Because, my darlings, transformation is not in our hands. When you choose transformation, what you're saying is, I trust that the universe knows best for me. Transformation is not a controllable process. For Shushmita, heartbeats have increased a bit. Andrea seems to be releasing something. Sunita is also feeling fresh and happy. So, I do choose to trust myself completely. There's some pain in the ankles that's come up, and pain in the ankles, joints actually, have to do with flexibility, where you may not be being flexible. Sayukta, if you're feeling sleepy, ma, stay connected to the call but close your eyes. And Devika and Vandana have been seeing angel numbers. There's lots of vibrations. The full face is feeling tightened, says Dina. So when tightness happens with a stiff upper lip and disapproval. So somewhere there is some disapproval in what you are saying. Amar has been seeing numbers. Swati's been seeing numbers. For Nina, there's vibrations on the back and shoulders. Neha, sorry. So Neha, there's guilt in the way of you trusting yourself. because there may be some sense of, um, it'll be very selfish of me to want this just for myself. First, let it happen for my family, then let it happen for me. So there could be something going around with guilt over there. Vandana, transformation could happen at all levels: physical, emotional, mental, financial, spiritual, sexual. Transformation is transformation. When we transform, every aspect of us transforms. And Donna has also been seeing loads of angel numbers. Whole body is vibrating right now. Fantastic. Was it with the second sentence? With the I do choose to trust myself completely. Moving away from choice, let us just stick to the I do. So the I do transform easily and effortlessly. Try that sentence. I do trust myself completely. Can you make out the difference between the I do choose and the I do? Golden rule about God. Number 2, you can be angry with God, He can take it. Golden rule, law number 3 for God. He never said it would be easy, He only said it would be worth it. I do trust myself completely. Back of the head and shoulders can come from anger, especially anger from your lineage, because back of the head has to do with our ancestry as well as our past lives. But shoulders have to do with responsibilities and burdens and baggages and expectations. So there could be anger around that as well, around how much has been expected from you. In transformation as well, my darlings, lots will be expected of you. So your commitment has to be 100%. There's not a single message that you can ignore in the next 24 hours to 7 days. You have to follow through each of those messages. Whether that message is, let's go to sleep at 8 p.m., whether that message is, let us meditate at 4 a.m., whether that message is, I'm going to skip dinner for a while, whether that message is, I'm going to increase my glasses of water, whether that message is, I'm going to go for a walk instead of being on this phone. You have to listen to every message that shows up. And today, as it is, you all are very attuned to messages, but after today's exercise as well, you will be even more attuned to those messages. Abhijit is yawning. For Radha, left biceps tingling and vibrating. That's anger with the mother. And for Sangeet, the nape is burning. That's definitely anger. Karishma says, I do trust myself completely. I realize I can do a lot of foolish stuff sometimes. So do you hold yourself back so that you don't do it? Golden law rule number 4. God doesn't judge you. There are no mistakes. Either we win or we learn. And Vandana says, I do trust myself to transform. Nishri says, feeling lighter and happier once started the trusting statement. Tingling feet. Something's opening up there. Nikita's also got a lot of vibrations. Sunita says, I do trust myself completely. Makes me feel confident. Wonderful. Try the next one. I do feel safe and protected. I do choose to be safe and protected. And Sangeet says, God does not judge, but family does, yeah. So it's a man-made construct. Radha says, nowadays, totally respecting the body's wisdom to sleep, eat, work. Fantastic. I do feel safe and protected, or I do feel safer and protected. I do choose to be safer and protected. What's coming up? I do choose love and acceptance. I do love and accept myself. I do choose to be worthy of 100,000 rupees, dollars, euros, pounds in your currency, whatever that is. I do feel worthy of 100,000 in your currency. I do choose to be deserving of 100,000 in your currency. I do feel deserving of 100,000 in your currency. And clearly, that's been quite a bit because my Facebook page has gone off. One moment, my darling. All right, it's taking a couple of seconds to reload. And it's back. Yay. Vandana says, for almost every sentence, I'm feeling joy in the heart and very balanced. And I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. We miss you too, my girl. But I know it's very early for you where you are. And Elizabeth says, I do trust and follow my guidance to sleep more without judgment. You can increase now. Yes to that. Bina says, ease for me, lightness. Excellent. Jennifer has slight headache after these decrees. So Jennifer, take a look as to what it is that you may be holding on to, because as you know, headaches are always fights between old energy and new energy. Basically, older thoughts and newer thoughts. Donna, are the tremors showing up? Like, have you been better? Mandy says, I don't always feel safe and protected. You can leave now. Removed. Yawning is always a release of stagnant energy in the body, where the body has accumulated more carbon dioxide than oxygen. Devika says, felt a shower of energy upon saying I'm worthy. Felt nice, but later slight pain in the shoulders. Take a look at anxiety or guilt. My love, that's stopping you, because for worthiness, guilt and worthiness cannot coexist. So if there is guilt, there cannot be worthiness. And anxiety, if there's a tendency towards anxiety, towards insecurity, that automatically gives rise to a lot of jealousy. And that's a very contractive fire in the body. So once again, we don't feel worthy. So take a look, Ma. Pain, removed. Unworthy, removed. Undeserving, removed. I also want to give you all Pluto's decree. Some of you all know this. We haven't used it in quite some time. I think we used it right around the time that Pluto went retrograde. But I would love to use it because it's a decree that is very closely associated with transformation, because it's a decree that works on the neural pathways of the brain. So just receive this particular direct decree. Bank balance transformed, health transformed, relationships transformed, jobs transformed, work transformed, inner chatter transformed, inner critic transformed, judgments transformed, limiting beliefs transformed, homes transformed, pain transformed, illness transformed, disease transformed, stuckness transformed, blocked transformed, congestions transformed, constrictions transformed, restrictions transformed, obstructions transformed, closed transformed. Not being able to see the comments, you can leave now. Not being able to see the remaining comments, you can leave now. Oh, and I just got a message that said, no internet connection. 1 second, my darling. And Alice says, husband transform. Oh, my darling, we don't have the right to do this to anybody else, because if we do use that power, then that means that we are open to others doing it for us. So then we are not safe and protected with others, and others are not safe and protected with us. But relationships transformed. Although that's not Pluto's decree as such, his decree is reframe. And there's another one he's given on his way to going direct, which is rewired. So, bitter relationships, reframe, reframe, reframe. Everything that is causing these bitter relationships, which means that there is some allowance, there is some energy in us that's attracted it in the first place, and there's some energy in us that's maintaining it as well. Rewired, rewired, rewired. So sorry, Alice. It could really just be Mercury retrograde acting up, because he's taking away my page quite often. So I'm not getting to see all the messages also. And Nilu couldn't be on the call today, so please bear with me, bear with the fact that he's a prankster and he's wanting to laugh somewhere as he sees us struggle digitally. So for Pluto, it's rewired and reframed. Rewired and reframed. Rewired and reframed. Rewired and reframed. And you would have this sensation probably mostly in the upper torso, face and head area, because that is the biggest place, that is the place for transformation. The brain is the one organ that is required for ascension. And ascension is really a transformation of how we've been and how we will be. The world is not going to go back to how it was 6 months back. Are we ready to embrace the transformation that is already taking place? Sangeet? Yeah, reframed, rewired, transformed. Yes, transformed is a power word, so it's not a decree. But because It's a power word. It still has multiple uses. Preeti, you've written refrained instead of reframed, my love. Yeah, so delete that post. Delete it quickly, because what you have put over there is that the relationship should not happen. And I see that the others have also very quickly stepped in, because you have to be careful with the decrees, my love. They are divine commands. Rewired and reframed. Rewired and reframed. Rewired and reframed. How are you all doing? I do have the right to choose what and who I will be. I do have the right to choose who and what I want to be. Vandana says, when do we use reframed and when rewired? You can use both together. Reframed and rewired. Reframed and rewired. Reframed and rewired. Rewired and reframed. Rewired and reframed. These are primarily for thoughts, because all thoughts are kept into place in a frame. Like the frame moves in a certain way only. Like if this particular frame is a square frame, it stays a square frame. If it's a circular frame, it stays a circular frame. But when you reframe and rewire, all the frames start breaking up. New neural pathways start forming, which means it becomes very easy to let go of all limiting beliefs. Like, let us take this one, the I'm not good enough. Now I need one person to tell me, give me a number, give me an SUD for I'm not good enough. And by the way, if you trust yourself completely, the I am good enough would be at a 10. For relationships, Karishma, use transformed. Transformed. I do choose to transform my relationships. I do choose transformed relationships. I do have the right to 100,000 in your currency. Fantastic, Donna. And you've ended it with I'm willing, I'm willing, I'm willing, which is what I want all of us to do on the call before we end. Because in the I am willing, trust, faith, surrender all take place. I am willing means I am open now to everything the universe has to offer me. You know, in the I am willing, you don't have to think very much. You don't have to plan very much. It all gets done for you. In the I am willing, you become, not do. So Donna says 5 and Nikita says 9. Make sure that this is in harmony with the I trust myself. I do trust myself completely. So if I'm not good enough is at a 9, I do trust myself completely would be 1. And Bina asks, reframe, rewired can be used for self, overthinking and over emotions, over sensitivity. Yes, most certainly. I will say this again. Wasn't I saying this a couple of days back? So I will say this again. The foundation of all decrees is Saturn's decrees. The you can leave now. Overthinking, you can leave now. Over emotional, you can leave now. Oversensitive, hypersensitive, you can leave now. You can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now. You can all leave now. The you can leave now is the root chakra on which we build everything else. For example, if you've not used you can leave now enough times, you will find yourself forgetting to do the reframed, rewired, transformed, removed, be gone, be gone, be gone. You will forget to start using them. In a couple of days, you will forget. Because the body has not been wired to the releasing with the use of words, which only takes place with you can leave now. All right, my darlings. So I've got an I'm not good enough. Nikita, 9. Donna at a 5. And Sangeet says family judgments come in the way of I am good enough, which brings it to 8 from 10. Great. So give me what happens, and you have to check like immediately. So don't take too much time. I'm not good enough. Rewired and reframed. Rewired, reframed. Rewired, reframed. Have a sip of water and check. What is the number? And Bindu, that is absolutely correct, ma. I am willing is Jupiter's decree. Because he is one of the kindest, nicest, generous, wisest of planets. And jovial and happy and all things good. Lots of feminine energies as well. Okay. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not good enough. Rewired, reframed. Rewired, reframed. Rewired, reframed. For Dana, the chest opened up. Superb. For Nikita, it's come down from a 9 to a 5, and check now again. Preeti, you said it's at an 8. Check now. I am not good enough, which is the thought around the emotion of unworthiness, comes from the wound of rejection and usually carries a lot of anger. So as you are processing this, maybe the body might heat up. Maybe you'll start feeling the anger. Because we are very angry with those who made us feel like this, because you see, it's a lie. It's not true. There is no such thing as I'm not good enough. But I am not good enough because my father felt this way, my mother said that thing, my teacher said that thing, my sister said this, my brother made me feel. Always coming from somebody else's expectations, intentions, and desires for who you should be. And lies give rise to a lot of heat in the body. If you have an oily scalp or oily skin, take a look at the lies that are taking place. And for Nikita, from 9 to 5 to 1, awesome. Have you ever gone through a process that could release I am not good enough so quickly? All of us have this wound. Each and every one of us. Angelina Jolie has this wound. Oprah Winfrey has this wound. George Clooney has this wound. Nobody can escape it. But do you know of any process that can bring it down so rapidly? Like, what was this? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds? And Sangeet says, just realize not breathing from the right. And that's absolutely fine. Are you breathing from the left? Vinita, oily skin, you have to check lies. where you might be lying to yourself about something. Vandana says, I'm feeling a major surplus of energy in my body, like a spurt, not decreasing. Beautiful, my love. This could be Kundalini rising. And Kundalini rises because she is such a lightning bolt that she can give rise to tons of tapas energy in the body. What else are we removing? Chalo, let us do rewired and reframed a little bit more. And what will you choose? I do choose to recognize that I am good enough. I do have the right to feel good enough. I do feel good enough. Devika, tapas energy is the energy that builds up when we do a lot of concentrated meditation, lots of concentrated yoga. You know, tapas is what the Rishi Munis of yore used to do, like standing on one leg for thousands of years. That is tapas energy. So it's a heat in the body, but it's a fabulous heat in the body. It's not the heat of anger. It's not the heat of unwellness, which comes from our immunity system being in battle with germs. It's a very clear sattvic. Sattvic is pure energy. Nikita says, I'm sweating. Forehead is oily, feet cold, and left shoulder hurting. You're releasing a lot, ma. I want you to hold your right side little finger plus the ring finger together, and in about 5 minutes, you should be feeling much better. What are the sentences, my love? What shall we rewire and reframe? Let's go for safety and protection. So many of y'all are empaths, so many of y'all are so beautifully sensitive, and that sensitivity would have been judged and misunderstood, and you would not have been kept safe and protected. So let's do one for I am not safe, I am not protected. How's that? And Pooja says, I'm on a spree of sneezing, which is wonderful, which is release of confusion, stress, and anger. And Donna says, I do choose to love myself completely. I do love and accept myself completely. And Shailaja has been getting disconnected almost 6-7 times. There's all kinds of energies releasing right now, my love, and Mr. Clown Mercury giggling away in a corner as well. So I think we should all just be prepared for some amount of disconnections to take place. You can leave now. Meenakshi says 444 comments right now. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, my darlings. So, I'm not safe. Please give me number on a scale of 0 to 10. Jeet, legal cases transformed. Thank you, Swati. So that's the number of 7. I don't feel safe, as high as 7. I don't feel safe, rewired, reframed. I don't feel safe, rewired, reframed. I don't feel safe, rewired, reframed. Give it 5 seconds and check. And Nikita is even higher at an 8. Tell me what the next number is. For Donna, it's a 6. Swati, has it gone up from 7 to 9? All right. Progress is progress, whichever direction it's going in. It's fine. Let me give it again. I'm not safe. Rewired, reframed. Rewired, reframed. Rewired, reframed. And Alex says, wow, my brain felt like it changed shape. I love it. And for Nikita, from an 8, it's come to a 6. But give it another 5-7 seconds for the second round to sink in. Swati, let it come up, ma. All this really means is that you may have thought you were unsafe to some extent. Now you are seeing that you are unsafe, you are feeling unsafe to a much larger extent. For Donna, from 6 to a 4, this is a big one, right? Because I'm not safe comes from not being safe with our parents. It's a tough one. To change that means you're going to change the dynamic with your parents. And this is, well, it's one of the toughest things to do in our work, although all healing is a change in dynamics with parents. For Pooja, from 5 to a 2, but let me give it again. I'm not safe. Reframed, rewired. Reframed, rewired. Reframed, rewired. Oh, Swati, it's come down to a 1. Awesome. Awesome. Sangeet, head is feeling heavy. That's also anger, my love. Just hold your right side index finger plus middle finger. Preeti is coughing. Radha, please go ahead, ma. Please go ahead. And happy belated birthday to you. Bindu says, do we have a snap after transformed? I'm not snapping after transform, but I like the question and I think we should have a snap after transformed. I'm not safe. Transformed. I'm not safe. Transformed. I'm not safe. Transformed. Yes, Bindu. Let us do a snap after transformed. And while y'all are telling me how y'all are doing right now, on Saturday, my darlings, we have the grief release call, grief, overwhelm, heaviness in the chest, anything to do with your lungs. Again, a kind of preparation before Mercury shows up. Pluto goes completely direct. Pluto will go direct on the 4th. We will have our call on the 3rd. So we want to strengthen our immunity system. We want to strengthen our lungs. We want to make sure that all the ways that we feel down and low and depressed that may have to do with unresolved grief, that we do completely clear it. You can see how fast we do this. And along with that, we also have 14 days of daily decrease where we will do some decrease for clearing because it's the waning cycle of the moon. And the waning cycle of the moon means that the universe is saying, let go. Simultaneously, here and there, we will also do a couple of I do chooses. So, I do choose, I do choose, I do have the right to. So, little bit of little bit of Mars decree and quite a bit of Saturn's decrees. So please do come along. It is only for 1100 rupees and USD 17. If you still haven't signed up, I'll be putting up the post on the group itself. Come along. Mandy says, wow, feeling safe. It has come right down to a 1 and smiling. And Swati is smiling too. Awesome. Awesome. Tell me, my darlings, are you feeling more like you? Like, do you know that feeling when you don't feel like yourself? Are you feeling more like you? The more you feel like you, the more you are in touch with the universe. Rupali, the call is at 11:11 a.m. on Saturday. Swati says, was very sleepy when we started, but now feeling very fresh. Yeah, sure. Fresh. Awesome. And Sangeet asks, so can we do Pluto decrees or Jupiter's decrees at present? Most certainly. You can do any decree you want. The thing with the decrees is the decrees will tell you which decrees to be used, provided, of course, you've had enough work and practice with them. Which is why, we're continuously doing stuff and just using the decrees, making the decrees a unique neural pathway for ourselves so it can be accessed anytime, as well as it will let us know what is to be used when. Because the decrees are sentient. These are words that have a power of their own that I have not seen in regular affirmations or in regular positive statements. Donna says, yes, I'm feeling more embodied, more like me. Fantastic. More like me always means more trust in the self, more acceptance of the self, more knowing, more clear gifts. And Mandy says, I'm feeling I have a right to be me and it feels good. Superb. And Nishi says, more confidence. Thank you so much, my love. And yes, and more confidence. Because who else can be the best you except you? Every time we've been trying to be who our parents wanted us to be, our families wanted us to be, our partners wanted us to be, our peers wanted us to be, our bosses wanted us to be, we end up losing ourselves in bits and pieces. And then there's this fragmentation and separation and disconnection that takes place in the body. When that happens, how do you align with the universe, which is one steady stream, flow, river? There are no fragments in the universe. When we fragment, then one fragment is attaching to the universe, then another fragment is attaching. It just becomes too many flows in us. But the times that we feel most like ourselves, we are in the river of the universe. We are flowing in the river of consciousness towards the ocean of consciousness, which is awarefulness and wakefulness. And on that note, my darlings, please, only 12 times, but with full Shraddha Saburi, devotion and commitment, enunciating properly, because I've seen sometimes that when we have to do a decree, we also do it like we're doing it by rote. You can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now, you can leave now. I'm willing, I'm willing, I'm willing, I'm willing. Enunciate each word in I am willing just 12 times. Let us do this. I am willing. 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 When we do I am willing with dedication, by the time you get to the third or the fifth I am willing, you start having a sense of the awareness that you're aware. Could you all sense that? It'll make sense if you went through that. Thank you, Donna. I'm so glad, Ma. I'm so glad. Could you all sense that? Like you became aware of your voice, you were beginning to become aware of your body. All awareness is Sakshi Bhav, witness mode. So as you surrender more and more with the I am willing, your awareness starts going up. And Vandana says burping is a sign of energy shift in the body, very much so. Burping, sneezing, coughing, ears feeling ticklish, all signs of energy shifts. And Delva says, yes, it is so empowering. Absolutely, my love. Absolutely. What a gift from Lord Jupiter. I'm so glad, Donna. How nice it is to hear you say that you feel so much better put together. Fantastic. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you. Feeling light and fresh, she says. This is so good. This is so good. Thank you. I'm so glad, my darlings. I'm so glad. Enjoy your remaining full moon night. Please remember to stay safe, stay gorgeous, wash your hands a lot. Big love, big hug. Namaste from India.